prompting me to read something instead of not distracting me because I'm live in a video. Okay, YouTube Live with Flex. I'm assuming everyone can identify with those times at night when you have a lot of silence around you and epiphanies appearing. So I'm typically careful with my words, so I apologize for the pausing, but if a slumber party joined us, or we were joined in one, in a conversation before going to sleep, I'd probably share this with you. So, back to the point. I think I'm going to attempt to do a testimony every day. I really don't find it hard to appreciate life and things in it. So when I bring the burden on myself to do a testimony every day and then start trying to give my first testimony without accumulating them, I really get the power up because I haven't even formulated which one I'm going to give. And I think that's the beautiful thing about a testimony in the first place. So I got to share in Harris County. I was united with, I guess, the right stuff. Because roses come out of the dirt, and that's where we go when we die. So the best appreciation that you have likely comes from something you had to get over being ashamed or embarrassed about. The first testimony. Huh. I really put my foot in my mouth on this one because life itself is a testimony. How do I have 22 viewers on a live stream that I scheduled for release days from now? But anyway, okay, I lost two. I'm just working. Back to my point. A testimony. Don't get me wrong, they're gonna come flying out. They'll be scheduled before next time. Share a testimony. My life is a testimony. And I'm working out vanity and sharing it. So, again, forgive me for these 4 minutes. I'll get to the point. I'm fast and savvy if you haven't seen the video. What is a testimony? When I discovered what the word by definition of a man was, oh, let me tell you. You mean the letters AMEN literally describe the phrase so be it? Because if I had to say so be it, And then it's literally the fragments of what you would assume is royalty. Jailhouse testimony. If I started this at 5 minutes and 45 seconds, it'd be like this. I sat in jail and I was in a tank that was pretty diverse. There were these, I mean, it was interesting. We had like some, the jail, the prison house Muslim uh, type, the brothers. Some of them built like Incredible Hulk, and you had the hillbillies, or I call them winos. Looked like they should. I mean, even though we're all in jail clothes, it just I couldn't get past the straw hat, and the overalls, even though they weren't wearing them. Anyways, that's just the outlay of the jail pod that I was in. I woke up one morning and it was almost like I was waking up to somebody who had a bad attitude, who had a lot to say and was loud. That was the atmosphere of waking up. And I sit up and like the biggest guy in the cell is like obviously having a bad morning because there was like some yelling that I think woke me up. But when I sat up and looked over, a huge hand came flying across this dude's face. He literally smacked the wake up out of him. And he must have been, 4 times his size. So it was about 2.5 times my size. And when I saw him smack that small old man and was, a different nationality, I was taken. I was like, ooh, wow, kind of deal. And I reacted. I was so asleep and had just woken up that I kind of responded before I put myself in the shoes to respond. I have PTSD. It happens. So when he smacked him, I was in the process of saying, whoa, as well as wow, and then like WTF, or like what the freak. What the frick? And then in my natural self would have thought, why did he do that? But I was already in sound. So it was like, well, why you do that? It came out like a, what the heck? Why did you do that? Pause, take that back. Why are you talking? That's wait, if anybody needs to know that. I'm sorry, wait is WAIT. Why am I talking? So it's too late to ask that. I've already asked him why he smacked that dude in phrase out loud. Anyway, long story short, I did too much because he looked over at me and I was the target. So I got up because he was heading towards me, and I don't know. Let's just add the power of God, some Bruce Lee moves, and I guess you had to have been there because he lunged at me physically with a hand or with his arms, and through some method of jujitsu, instantly he was completely off the ground, in the air, almost completely above me, and slammed onto the metal table where I released him, and quickly realized what I was doing and dove underneath the table I had just slammed him on and braced under it for protection for dear life. because I wasn't gonna go multiple rounds with this guy at all, and I wasn't. He there were no licks that I was gonna be given. So I'm under the table. I'm holding on to basically it like a spider upside down, and he's obviously off the table at this point. He's really, really upset, and he's like reaching and tugging, trying to get me from underneath that table. And all of a sudden, the entire cell kicks in, wakes up, and comes to my rescue because literally almost everyone in the cell was like back off and was like pulling them off or whatever, and the guards that came in there. But he did manage to grab me by the chest of my shirt, pull straight down a little bit to the ground, and then lunge me up to the bottom of the table. He likely almost chipped a tooth. So I had a bloody lip. So the table that I turned on him, it did get me in the end. But that's what I'd like to share with you at this point. For obvious reasons, greater is he that is in me than he that is in this world. Be blessed. Have a good night. Now, how do I turn this thing off? And there's your first live. Deal with it. Oh yeah. I got a translator in the house. I mean, if I can't figure out how to stop my live, we might just have to do another one. I guess it's not really setting to do that. Oh, we're literally just camped out. I guess I'm permanently live now until they come get me, right? Let's just hit the exit button. Hope it doesn't delete.